Good. Now that everything in this game is done, we can finally relax and go over all the content we unlocked through all of our difficult efforts. So may as well enjoy ourselves. Welcome back, everybody, to the last bonus episode of Let's Play Ratchet Clank, the PS2, through the PS3 HD collection. This is your host, the MJ406. By the way, hey, we have a warp back here, so at least you want to go back to phase Drek, you can easily do it this way. It is definitely appreciated. At least once you get to Drek, you can always go back and do other things. So if you still need to grind, at least you can start off from that part of the fight, which is something I'm going to do. But before we do that, let's go over all the goodies we unlocked. Or at least, dabble into them. So, you got your skill points. We went over all those. The credits, I already did. Cheats. Right, I should probably look at some cheats for this game. I can do that in the middle of things. Cinematics. You look back at some of the stuff from early on in the game. But you can still skip out of, but yep. You can always go back and view all of them if you want. So this is the personal hygienator. And you got the in-level movies. Which, no, there's that many of them, but... Oh, right. There's certain levels for in the...
Hey! What the...
Oh, okay. Oh, the level you're in, you can view the cutscenes. Oh, okay, that's actually kind of nice. Let's go over some of the artwork, some of the sketchbook stuff. Yep, these are some of the concept sketches for Ratchet. We saw earlier on he would be a bipedal alien creature with fur. If anyone asks you, Ratchet is a Lombax, whatever the hell that is. I can't zoom in or anything, but you at least look at them. And we had Clank. Clank, too, went through many forms. He was originally even younger looking with a bigger head and smaller body. In fact, at first Clank was 3 much smaller robots. But in the end, we decided to use just one so that we could develop his personality more easily. Yeah, better than making him a horde or a legion. Make him just one. And here we have the final sketch for our 2 main characters. Ratchet came into existence on paper for the first time within 2 weeks of the initial idea for the game. This final sketch was done about 3 months later. Yeah, I mean, when you have a good character design, you stick with it, man. Fort Kronos of Italia came from the top sketch. We wanted to create forested islands under aerial attack. Then we turned it into more of a tropical fort. Kind of the way development goes sometimes. The bottom sketch was one of the many from which we stole pieces for various levels. Right. I mean, they probably just came with a lot of things together and then probably tried to make it more seamless as they, actually designed more of the levels. They went a little more tame further on. These cliff-hugging structures involved in the cliffside machinery you can see in parts of the longest site on planet Eudora. They were originally part of a populated city, but we decided to make this a robot-only area. It's weird you only have robots dealing for the most part. This is an element from the robot factory exterior on planet Core 2. The factory on this planet is where Clank is made at the beginning of the game, which we learned from the cutscene, of course. The top sketch is an early drawing of Blarg Depot on planet Gaspar. The bottom is the production design for Blackwater City on planet Rilgar. And then we have the bomb factory on planet Hoven. Was derived from these sketches. Our original idea was that the inhabitants were mining ice and shipping it off-world. Making more money, of course, fucking Drek. Does it get any bolts or actual cat? Nah, don't worry about it. But we decided the Blarg should invade and convert all the processing plants to munitions factories. Blarg equals bad news. I guess those were the general evil forces, Blarg. A hang power source for one of our factories. Can you guess which one? I think that was the one on Core 2, if I remember. I think? Because I think he could blow up the arms. The top drawing shows off early concepts for the longest on planet Eudora. This was one of our first worlds, and our initial goal was to create a forest city. It changed drastically during production. The bottom sketch shows off peaceful structures from the bomb factory on planet Hoven. I mean, it is a nice peaceful place if you don't count the bombs being produced there, and all the other Blarg trying to kill you. Generator concepts for Gorda City on planet Ultanus. Because the city is plagued by lightning storms, the inhabitants use the generators to attract lightning and convert it into useful energy. Hey, make use of your environment, right? Unfortunately, Drek wants the generators for his new planets, and the citizens don't stand a chance. He steals them. That's why their planet just gets ravaged afterwards. Steals the generators and destroys the planet. What a dickhead. I mean, yeah, Drek was a dickhead. His head looks like a dick, to be honest. Anyway, one of the very first levels we prototyped was Metropolis on planet Kerwan. We wanted lots of greenery built into the retro sci-fi buildings to create a unique contrast. We ended up removing most of the bronze caps, though, because they began to clash with the rest of the city. This world was one of the first big ones we built. It almost started a war between the designers and the artists. Oh boy. I guess they both had their own ideas for how they wanted the city to look. Hey, it shows passion for you. If it's competitive, at least they're passionate. Which is, well, you can ask for less, but hey, I'd rather be competitive and actually care. This is the first concept for Quark's HQ on planet Umbris. We moved the lightning rods, and we realized that it made the central structure look too small. The general idea for Quark's HQ was that it should be very reminiscent of a World War II battlefield, replete with bunkers, machine guns, and barbed wire. What part of timeline is this in regards to the... Well, no, don't relate it to Earth. As far as I know, that's not a place in this series. Here's a building study for one of the structures near Quark's trailer in Blackwater City. We ended up modifying it significantly, though, and the final result is a bit different. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting to the real artist work. This is a good example of palette studies we create for every world. This one was for Fort Krontos on planet Battaglia. We ended up changing the weather from a sunny day to a rainstorm. But the color palette did very much from this painting. Well, yeah. I mean, hey, they wanted a lot of lush greens. I mean, they wanted to make the planets make sense, so, it's understood. 2 examples of the character sheets we used to model the enemies in the game. The top is a Blarg Trooper, while the Blarg Commander is on the bottom. And we love our robots. I mean, who wouldn't? These are some of the many head designs we created for the robot troops who fight Ratchet. If you look closely, you can pick out our animation director and our lead character designer. Oh, yeah. I guess they probably, use some of their heads as Easter eggs for, designing some of the monsters. It is cool when the developers throw their own personal touches in it. So they feel like it's missing from modern gaming. Here's Ratchet's first ship. Too bad he wrecks it so early in the game. We want it to be a real homemade job, held together by chewing gum and wire. We still can't agree on exactly why he crashed it on planet Novalis. Right. I mean, they wanted to say he was a bad pilot. That is how he crashed. I keep forgetting about that. Finished sketches for Quark's ship and the courier ship that Ratchet and Clank acquire. The idea was that the courier ship would be a slow, clunky, durable vehicle, kind of like a mail truck. Quark's ship, on the other hand, was designed as a luxury craft. Not too fast either, but stylish and comfortable. Yeah, it is a nice reminder of how much detail goes into even the simplest and smallest design things you may not even think of. This is the original sketch for the Blarg fighter that Ratchet and Clank pick up on Gamlick Base. We were going for sleek but deadly. I mean, yeah, it definitely feels deadly, alright. Many of the enemies in the game pilot vehicles. This one turned into a helicopter piloted by a Blarg commander in Metropolis. He's a nasty one. Some of them were strong. And of course the equipment. The grind boots, mine glove, and what was originally was the defense drone glove. We changed the way the defense drones work midway through the project, so we no longer needed that glove. Right. They wanted to make it through a glove, and they decided to do it through something else instead. Smart move. And here's one of our concepts for a giant Clank. Unfortunately, the huge shoulder-mounted guns did make it in because they just weren't practical. But we did manage to keep Ratchet on Clank's back. I mean, it makes sense. You want to keep Ratchet going along somehow, not like you store him inside. You want to be able to breathe in there, don't you know? So, blood enemy designs. 1 made it into the game, 4 didn't. Can you pick the winner? I want to say it was the one on the bottom left. I think I remember an enemy like that. Because I don't think we had anybody 2 blasters. I don't remember the long neck thing. We didn't have a worm-like enemy like that. And I never fought anything on wheels, or at least not a lot of them. I don't think there really was anything on wheels. The main phase of Big Al. Whoa. This was the first NPC, non-player character, thanks for that, we put into the game. He's probably what most people think game developers look like. Geez, not all of them are freaking super nerds like that. You'd be surprised. Some of them are actually surprisingly bros. One of the weapons that went through many iterations on paper was Ratchet's wrench. We didn't want something too generic, plus it had to function as a tool and a weapon at the same time. That can be a tricky balance if you want it to look cool. It's mistakenly called an axe, but by many, but the label is appropriate in some respects since you probably wouldn't want to get whacked with it. Yeah, at least it wouldn't chop things in half. That would be a very impractical wrench if you kept cutting the screws you were trying to tighten or loosen. Designs for the Visbomb gun, top, and the Sun Cannon, bottom. The Sun Cannon was one of the first weapons we designed, and one of the few where the name stayed the same throughout the development process. Just had such a nice ring to it. Yeah, by the way, this series does have it does have a penchant for doing a lot of innuendos, just so you know, if you're unaware. They do love their innuendos for Insomniac games. The top two designs are final versions of the Hydro Pack. The bottom sketches are the designs of the Glove of Doom and Bomb Glove. The Glove of Doom is an office favorite. There definitely is a nice look to it. Alright, some of these weapons do look really cool. Then again, I do always love the sci-fi stuff, especially they make it look interesting. Another early version of Ratchet. Notice the different proportions, lack of eyebrows, and stripes. This is also an early box cover concept. I can see that. And this one should look familiar. The cover for the US game box was derived from it. But more importantly, it was the first image of Ratchet unveiled to the world in March 2002. Ah, yeah, this is the very first image people have to see of Ratchet and Clank. That's right. And that's the last of the sketches. Yeah, it's always nice getting a look through the sketchbook. And now we go through the epilogue. See what happened after Drek's defeat. I guess all the fame they got from frickin' everything. Details. Ratchet, the furry mechanic who created a panic. Deadly Gadgets, top 10 gift ideas for this holiday season. I was on reverse. Racetrack Tragedy claims 5 robots. Oh dear. The nosy news. The truth is, Skid hooked on Nano? Oh no. Quark washed up. I'll do anything for a few bolts. Of course. Candid photos. Robot caught in the act. Ratchet's love interest. Shocking news about Drek. The race was fixed. Witness tips from Quark's trader. Bounty hunters at each other's throat. I mean, of course, these aren't just about to do article. Oh god, heavy artillery. There's the Rhino. More for Ray ends Galactic Hunger. Gadgets of tomorrow. Latest innovations. Invisible review. Top 10 weapons at Gadgetron Con. Think you can handle the Rhino? Interview. Victims of the Rhino. Boy. How do they even have victims? How are they alive? Upgrades. Learn how to get aftermarket parts at an affordable price. Of course. Popular plumbers. 101 ways to clean your pipes. God damn. Will plumbing ever be the same? The water worker asks the same question every day. True story. I saved the galaxy from an evil mutated strain of dry rot. I kid you not. I can see that. Tips to fixing derelict turrets. With the Hydrogenator and Zoomerator. Ah, of course. Robot of the Year for Prime Magazine. Of course. Damn it, Amazon! An exclusive look at how Clank saved us all. Oh boy, Reader Digested. How long is your wrench? Which nanotech do you really need? And Amiiboid ate her, and now she's in love. I mean, sure, that's what gets you going. Shit. Rhino salesman pleads not guilty. I can't read the rest of that. The Voss native claims his brother turned into a chicken. And the Amiiboid attack. It was really nice that was actually an article they wrote there. It's not just blurb, random ink, or anything like that. Battalion Chronicles. Lone Commando wins war, or so he says. I forgot about him. Reinforcements have arrived. What took them so long? Outpost X11 updates. Hover border. The best way to a man's heart is through his ribcage. I guess that's not wrong. House Kid has extra altitude. And Z400 sneak peek. Killer combos. Backbreaking moves. Zoomerator giveaway. Free stuff for only $2.99. It's not free. Homes and bunkers. The #1 official guide in the Umbra system. Bank seizes Quark Estate auction begins now. Wow, he really gets screwed. Poor Quark. Screw him, though. New sectors. East Umbra, Central Umbra, Wineyville, South X6B, Blargtown, Third Moon, Upper Station, and Quark District. Ratchet & Clank, the motion picture. Almost feels like an in-joke knowing we had a freaking Ratchet & Clank movie now. That was more based off the reboot game. I never talked about that. Then again, I haven't played it. This is my first time playing this one, for crying out loud. Hot Pots, entertainment for robots. Oh my. Oily Gears, best lubrication for your sensitive parts. Help Girl shows off her servos. Interview XVB8 models. Party at the Hot Pot Mansion. Tools Express, extend the life of your wrench. Top 50 robot actors. Turbo Twins, Helga's workout plan. And CPU overclocks, improves performance and satisfaction. Oh boy. Hopefully it doesn't overheat. There you go, it's all that. And I may as well go over these videos too. So you want to see this special behind the scenes video with Insomniac Games? Go ahead. Why do that? I'm going to go to the bathroom. By PlayStation Studios, of course. Insomniac Games. Now I'm going to the bathroom.
Prepare to be transported to a brilliant sci-fi universe filled with imaginative characters, high-tech weapons and gadgets, and unprecedented action-packed shooting adventure. Welcome to the brave new world of Ratchet and Clank.
When we started talking about the ideas behind Ratchet and Clank, this character that rockets from planet to planet with weapons and gadgets, well, weapons suddenly jumped to the foreground. Ratchet lives on a backwater planet out in the edges of the galaxy.
He's a tinkerer, loves to put things together and take them apart to see how they work, very curious.
He's got this really strong thirst for adventure. And lucky for him, he gets to meet Clank, which allows him to travel to new worlds.
And Ratchet and Clank meet each other, but they don't necessarily get along.
Ratchet just wants to go out and blow stuff up and have a good time, and Clank is much more serious about accomplishing his goals.
Showcasing an impressive arsenal of state-of-the-art and radical weapons and gadgets, Ratchet and Clank delivers the future of entertainment here and now.
When you get weapons in this game, there's such immediate gratification. You can go out and blow the crap out of everything.
With the gadgets, we wanted to make sure that there was a lot of different options for the player when they're playing to kind of explore a lot of different ways to kind of cause some havoc and destruction.
There's the Tesla Claw, which shoots a bolt of electricity out, which actually picks characters up and throws them mid-air, and they explode. You've got the Suck Cannon, which allows you to suck characters in and hold them and fire them back out. The Rhino is an acronym for Rip Ya a New One, and you just stand back, fire that thing, and it destroys anything in its way.
I love the Pyrocitor. I'm not sure what that says about me.
One of the most unique weapons we have is the Visibomb.
It's awfully fun to cruise around the level from the bird's eye view and then target an enemy on the ground and just blow them up.
We were really surprised how quickly Ratchet came together. Ratchet started as this really small, scrappy cat type thing, then kind of a much taller dog-like creature. And what I ended up doing was actually taking these two forms and putting them together, and that's pretty much how we ended up with them.
As artists, we've set a really high standard for what we want to achieve in this game, but it feels really good to know that the programmers, the designers, everybody has set equally high standards.
Everybody who comes on board here is excellent at what they do and have really high expectations of delivering excellence.
When someone plays an Insomniac game, they can see anywhere they look in the game, there's an attention to detail, quality, as well as technical performance that is never lacking.
Developed by Insomniac Games, Ratchet and Clank is the development team's first entertainment venture for the PlayStation 2.
We knew we had to come up with something that was going to raise the bar even farther than Spyro had as far as action platformers went. And that's where Ratchet and Clank came from. We're actually expanding the genre. We're trying to break out of what people typically consider the action platformer or character action game genre.
One of the big differences between Spyro and Ratchet is being able to animate this stuff on the PS2.
And a single level of this game is probably more art than was in an entire game on one of our PS1 releases.
Every single level of the game we bring forth something new for the player to do. By the 5th or 6th level of this game, we are up to the complexity of the strongest titles in the category, and there's a lot of levels in this game.
It's a very deep machine. We've written immense amounts of code and assembly language, probably more than 100,000 lines compared to what we did on the PS1. You know, more by a factor of 10.
We can have very rich, detailed environments. We can have lots of enemies attacking you at once with their different behaviors. The AI has become more complex. With the faster processor speeds, we can have many ships and planes and vehicles just traveling through to breathe life into the environments.
There's loads and loads of stuff wherever you look. There's detail, there's movement, explosions. It's a busy world.
We're not just creating these environments and expecting them to sit there and expecting people to say, wow, your polygons are so pretty. The point is, it's alive, and there's a lot going on. It's not a static universe, it's an interactive universe, and you interact with it.
This game has a lot of great things: art, technology, design, power from the PlayStation 2, but the best part of it is you get to blow shit up.
With a team of talented designers, programmers, artists, and animators, Insomniac Games raises the bar and delivers another captivating game only for the PlayStation 2.
When I tell people about what I do for a living, like, that's not work. It's fun.
The Insomniacs don't take themselves too seriously, and people love to come to work and just have a good time, and I think that really is shown in our characters.
Look, plumber's crack.
What did you just say?
I said, look, the plumber's back.
All right, wise guy.
We, as a company, are committed to giving our games a lot of humor. We use a little bit more sarcasm, and the humor's a little bit more biting.
With an immense arsenal of gadgets and weapons, innovative gameplay mechanics, an evolving economic system, unparalleled technology, and vibrantly detailed graphics, Ratchet & Clank is a galaxy-stomping, adrenaline-soaked masterpiece.
We've gone out of our way to make this thing the largest, loudest, most active world we could possibly think of.
What Insomniac has done with this game blows my mind every time I see it. Like, I just sit in awe and stare at the visual material and just the all-encompassing feel that this game offers.
There are a lot of things that the players have to do, a lot of things that players have to keep in mind, but when it comes down to it, it's really just about blowing shit up.
Blow up a lot of shit.
Blow up, blowing shit up.
Ratchet & Clank, coming to a galaxy near you.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? I felt like there was a lot of foul mouthing going on at the end there. Yeah, isn't it nice to see people really passionate about the games they created? Like, man, that's some good stuff. And of course, we got some of the old school commercials we had for Ratchet Clank. I do actually remember these back in the day.
That is Corey. He's helping us with our inflatable decoy test for Ratchet & Clank. Oh, man.
It didn't even blow up. What the fuck?
The inflatable decoy. One of 36 weapons and gadgets not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
It's cool to see a lot of the different styles they went for as they were developing the game, too, how it changed.
Okay, Pete here is going to try to hit, that target with the Devastator, a rocket launcher designed for Ratchet & Clank.
Oh, man! That is what's fun with that weapon, to be fair.
The Devastator. One of 36 weapons and gadgets not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
Is the number 36? I guess it is. If you look at all the 15 weapons, the 6 gadgets, 3 foot items, 3 head items, it might be close to 36.
That is the Morph Array, and that, of course, is Jerry. The Morph Array is used in Ratchet & Clank to turn your enemies into chickens.
No, wait, before you do that, just explain to me how it's gonna work.
Oh, it worked! Jerry's a chicken! Are you sure we can turn him back?
Jerry?
The Morph Array. One of 36 weapons and gadgets not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
How about all the clips they show? It basically looks like it's a debug mode. They have infinite ammo. There you go. That's all the stuff we unlocked for that. Now go to that. What the hell are you doing, Ratchet? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Honestly, I was trying to think if I could get the cheats. I can't figure out how to get it to work, but honestly, it looks like in order to do the cheats, you have to, do, specific actions while you're playing the game in order to, unlock them. You can look them up yourself, but I've been trying to do them, I can't figure out. You have to at least unlock, challenge mode first. Alright, time to show off these new weapons at work and show you exactly how they work. Okay, so I'll show you the gold weapons as I fight off Trick. The Devastator actually works in a very interesting way. So yeah, it actually splits off into more missiles after you use it. And the gold Firesighter here, longer range, I think if I can connect with them with this. Yeah, I think it lingers to standard enemies, that one, so not so much to show on that one, but still useful. They still have more ammo, right? Yeah, maybe I will show these while I kill Drek one more time, just to show you how much easier it is with the weapons I have now. Oh, jeez. No, screw it. Let me just show off the Rhino real quick. But yeah, the Rhino will absolutely make quick work out of them because, you know, it's the Rhino. Alright, well, since I'm just doing this, though, I may as well get my final thoughts of this game. But, yeah, you see from those, it was nice seeing Insomniac be really passionate about, you know, doing their next evolution from beyond Spyro. And, well, the whole weapon system they came up with made for a lot of interesting gameplay ideas. Like, yeah, I am always the kind of person who prefers sci-fi or regular, like, medieval fantasy stuff myself, so I did prefer the thematic take. And you know, I just think this game was a buttload of fun. I've said it plenty of times before, I may as well say it again. This is like one of the few Sony franchises I've, like, really been interested in. Oh, wow, I even bounce off an enemy like this. Oh, that's pretty freaking sick. Oh yeah, the Tesla Claw, by the way, will chain enemies. That's what the Golden Tesla Claw does. Other enemies that are around get caught in a chain with it. That's what makes that one good. It looks like the range of the blaster increases the golden weapon as well. But yeah, the golden weapons and the Rhino make friggin' Drek a joke. See, it's fun to experiment with these. Yeah, the Golden Devastator basically shoots other rockets after its first shot to chain onto others up to like 5 times, I think. And the Golden Tesla Claw will just chain through a lot of enemies, and it'll connect with them as it goes. So that way, you know, you use the Tesla Claw to easily rip through anything, especially of the golden variety. Makes it so much better.
So it has come.
But yeah, I was hoping to unlock cheats like Big Head mode and stuff like that, but no. Not as easy as I can think to do it in this one. Well, this is a PS2, but not so they can do the HD collection. Which would be a goddamn shame if that was the case, but... Ow! Really, Brazen trying to hit the button too? You're a dick. Alright, well, may as well show you how easy it is to rip over the Rhino. Like, look at that! It, like, rips through his health bar, too. It has amazing lock-on range, like... This thing is beautiful. This is one shot, mind you. One shot does all that. Get away from me! Oh, you can shoot him while he's coming at you, too. Oh my god. Wow. So yeah, if you get the Rhino against him, you can abuse the living fuck out of him. Honestly, you can choose to ignore some of the main weapons just to get the Rhino if you really make this game easy on yourself. God damn it. Come and get me, you son of a bitch. Come and get me. The cool thing is you can shoot while grinding as well, which is awesome. But yeah, see? Look at this. He didn't even get time to summon anything. That's how great the Rhino is. I can kill him while he has a force field around himself. But yeah, case in point. The fun variety you get with the weapons you have friggin' make this game a friggin' joy. It really does. And that's why this has been one of my, you know, more preferred Ratchet, my more preferred Sony series to look at. Because it doesn't have like a super deep story, but at the end of the day, it's still fun. And that's what I miss from a lot of Sony's older games, like in the PS1, PS2, and PS3 era. A lot of them tended to be fun, instead of just being movies, or just, you know, making a really big game for the sake of making a really big world to explore. Like, they were fun times, like, It's not something you have to, like, really, like, analyze super deep and, like, you know, try to treat it like a cinematic masterpiece. They were just fun games. They were just fun to play, and they gave joy. Which is why I was really happy that Astrobot game came from the PS4 to show they still have that heart that their games could bring, that I missed from a lot of the earlier stuff they did. Back before these developers ended up doing, you know, just big open world stuff. Frickin', yeah, other than the occasional Ratchet Clank game, Insomniac Games pretty much just doing Spider-Man / Marvel games now. Naughty Dog is pretty much, well, they're not exactly open world, but they do a lot of the cinematic stuff, where it's a lot more about the presentation of the actual gameplay, for the most part, at least the way I see it. Sucker Punch really does their own thing, although they've been going basically open world style games since Infamous. And, oh yeah, that is a Sly Cooper franchise I get into as well, but I can worry about that later. And, yeah, that's why I've always treasured the Ratchet Clank series. It feels the most fun in regards to, like, the series that have stuck around for Sony and PlayStation the longest. Like, I can actually feel the fun and excitement I get just jumping around, shooting enemies, and actually, you know, it doesn't take itself super seriously, which is also something I appreciate. It's something to just have fun with. It's more of a lighthearted nature, which honestly I do prefer in games like these. I prefer when games are more lighthearted, although telling a good serious story, you know, it can be good. It's just, I don't like when all their games feel the same, man. That's the thing. All their games feel the fucking same! But, you know, at least I get to appreciate the series looking back as a fan of the older stuff to see, you know, what was great about, you know, yeah, some of the old school Sony days that's kind of died down since late PS4 era. But hey, this is a series I definitely recommend you should try, especially if you're a fan of, like, mascot platformers. It's definitely one of the ones that does it better than, you know, a lot of others during its time. Where a lot of platformers were evolving to be beyond more than just basic collectathons and had more like a set style or goal to them. It was also more of a experimental nature to see, you know, how you take what was basically a simple platform and evolve the gameplay to make something different. And honestly, this is one of the better ones from the era that I definitely appreciate.
Itching in your nether regions causing you undue embarrassment.
Yeah, I gotta say the character in this game I love too. Ratchet's a nice sarcastic hero, with Clank being a do-gooder who, you know, every once in a while he's willing to get snarky, I appreciate. And you have Quark.
And this little baby can take
Quark.
needs that are just
The freaking goofball who will be, you know...
Allow me to demonstrate.
Yeah, you can definitely see he's the butt of a lot of jokes in this series. Hey, don't worry. Well, you got to see in the magazines, yeah, basically they're claiming his assets. He's basically done for now. But to say, eventually in the series, he'll come back in a bigger way. But look, there you go. I accomplished everything. Just like that, we are done. But thankfully, you can also hit X and just go right back to before you fought Drex. So take you right back to this point anyway. Which we had either way, so. Yep, you don't want to start New Game Plus, you always just hit that and choose to go for your skill points from this point, if you want. I don't think you get all the gold weapons if you do that, though. You have to actually start the game over if you want to get the, all the gold weapons, I think. Unless it just activates everything from the start, but either way, yeah. This is a game series I appreciate. Unfortunately, I cannot figure out how the frickin' cheats work. Look them up on the line, but yeah, you get some, like, big heads and stuff. You get some weird after effects, like when you're grinding and stuff. It's interesting, but yeah. Otherwise, I show off everything I wanted to do in this game. So yeah, thank you all for watching my first foray into Ratchet Clank, because this is actually the first game of the series I played. Like this LP, actually. I did call it blind, though, because I remember my friend Kingslayer Koshi going through this, and, well, I remember the experience from watching him go through it, and yeah, I really got to be intrigued. I always liked it, just from knowing about it, but actually getting to watch it play it, I could see the appeal, and now getting to play it and feel it, oh, it feels fun. Oh, fast-paced action. And I think it only gets better as the series goes on, to my understanding. At least for the original trilogy. I don't know anything from beyond that, but yeah, that's one of my favorite Sony franchises, if it wasn't obvious, so yeah, I'm glad I got to play this and play it to the fullest. One of the only trophies I didn't get was frickin' getting a million bolts, but that's grinding nature. That's the only unfortunate thing in this game, in the series. There's a lot of a grinding nature to getting a lot of bolts, so you get all their weapons, you need to get ammo, even to progress with the game, although buying the items to progress with the game is not really difficult, because as long as you're not going out of your way to buy every single frickin' thing or avoid enemies, you get bolts relatively easy to progress in the main game. It's just, that's the only thing I don't like in this series. Like, there's a big grinding nature to getting a lot of bolts you need to actually progress. Other than that, though, the weapons are great. The platforming is pretty good, as long as, you know, can maintain. They have enough challenges to make it still feel like a platform, but all the weapons are what truly shine in the series, with the vast array you have basically allowed you to come with a lot of different strategies for conquering foes. And, you know, Some of them are clunky, like the Vis Bomb, needing to stand still, basically shoot a freaking remote-controlled missile. It sucks when it leaves you open. It can be kind of annoying to have to keep stopping to do that. And the skill points do provide you some extra variety in regards to doing extra tasks and levels, even though, you know, sometimes they're just monotonous tasks, but, you know, either way, I still find plenty of fun in it. So, despite the grinding nature of it, I do really enjoy the game. And I'm hoping I'll enjoy the later games as I get to them later on in the series. They have the advanced jump maneuvers as well. Now, I believe the cheats, I think they actually allow you to unlock them in the later games through the skill points. So, at least I'll be able to show off cheats in later games this series when I get to them. But, yep, that'll do it for Ratchet Clank. Thank you all for watching. I'm trying to think of what game I should do next, because Super Paper Mario is somewhat close to its end, but I know that's... I think I know what I'm going to be doing after I get through that game, and that's something I'll leave for then. But, let's see. Sonic Advance is going, and that game's rather short. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour is nearly done. And, well, for this cycle, I'm debating. I'm trying to think if I should just start my Halloween project now. Because knowing my history, I've been really bad with timing Halloween projects. They end around Christmas instead. So I've been thinking, maybe I'll start my next Halloween project now. It started early, so hopefully it'll end by Halloween time. And I'm pretty sure I know what game it's going to be. I'll say this. It's a sequel to a series I did a couple years ago. And, well, I decided I'm going to continue the remake route. Why not? Because, you know, I guess those are the canon ones they want to go with, so that's what I'll go with for my run. You know, I think for the third game, people will probably be upset if I did that instead of the original game. I'll think about how I'm going to go through that, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go the remake route, because that's what they, I guess, consider the ideal take. Although I know the sequel game, if I play the original version, would be similar to what I played in the first game. Where the remake sequel's a little different. It should be obvious what the game is, but I won't spoil it in case you aren't aware of this point, but yeah. It's going to be a Halloween project. I'd rather start it now so it can end around Halloween time instead of running through that, go through the holidays like a dope. But yep, I'll leave that for you guys. So yep, thank you all for watching. I did other mascot platforms. There's plenty of them to go through, like Mario and such, and Banjo-Kazooie with other buddy duos. I did Jack and Daxter right before this. In regards to the next Ratchet Clank game, well, I'll probably get to that when I get to Jak 2, maybe late next year, if I get to that point. So, you know, I wanted to admire more of the older Sony franchises, because I really haven't. And they are part of a golden part of the history of gaming, why PlayStation 2 is so dominant. Not only was it a cheap DVD player, but it had a lot of amazing exclusive games. I mean, yeah, people are flocking to Sony since the PS1. The PS2 is where they had, like, I think some of the highest quality of their games. Well, maybe the weakest console, you know, the developers still knew how to make use of it, and well, it showed. Well, it was stronger than the Dreamcast. But either way, it had the marketing to go with it, the history with the strong developers they had there, and, you know, great marketing. And, you know, the gameplay really shined in the games. Part of the reason why Sony's the success story that they are today. Why not admire it, huh? Alright, but either way, yep, next time we return to Ratchet Clank will be the sequel game, which is called Going Commando. Yeah, coincidentally the name of that last skill point. I feel like they probably did it on purpose. And like I said, get used to double entendres. The series loves to do that. But yep, take care, guys. I'll see you next time for whatever project I have next. So, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and, well, I hope we don't have a capitalistic future like this, where, you know, people in the U.S. decide to get so greedy for money that they end up going out of their way to try to destroy the planet and try to inhabit a new one, just, you know, keep gaining money and nothing else, destroying all life as we know it, all for the sake of a few bucks. You know, it is really funny looking at this game as like an allegory to, like, the evils of capitalism. You know, I'm sure some of the storyboard writers probably had some, you know, thoughts about that while they were creating the game. There's always some influence in there, I'm sure. I'm not going to dig too deep into it, though. I don't want to find out for myself. Either way, see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.